Hello and welcome to Titan Customs. My name is Paul, and what I have here is a 2002 Big Bear Venom. It's a 1200. I have not started this thing in right about 10 years. It's sitting on a couple of flat tires. The battery's been dead. Well, the reason I didn't start it before is it was leaking fuel. When I attempted to turn the fuel on, it was leaking it out of the petcock. Don't want to burn my house down, so I immediately stopped doing that. I've got a new petcock. I've got a drain tank here. We're going to drain the fuel, and we're going to air the tires up. It's sitting on flats. I've got mixed gas for it. It is a high-performance engine. It needs mixed fuel, so we're going to do all that. I'm going to take you down from there. We're going to do a walk around it, and I'm going to explain some of the issues and some things we have to do. One of the things that these bikes do is this S&S, and I imagine the Harleys are the same way. When you have an oil reserve reservoir, all the oil, when it sits, migrates down to the crankcase over time, which again, in turn, leaks off onto the floor. So I probably in the last 10 years or so, I'm guessing half a quart or so has leaked onto the floor on cardboard you see underneath the thing, and I kept changing that. So the reason I'm bringing this up, the start procedure is going to be a lot different than a car. You have to start, stop instantly, start, stop instantly, start, stop. And what that does is pumps the oil back up to the reservoir and allows it to balance out so that when I start it, it just doesn't pump the oil directly on the floor, which it will if I don't run through that procedure, like probably 5, 6, 8 times, somewhere in that area. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take you off. I'm going to do a little walk around and show you what's going on with the bike. And then we're going to get to making this thing run. All right, it's not really good lighting in here, but we're going to come down close and show you the engine. This thing is filthy, and I'm ashamed of it being that way. And man, I'm moving, so forgive me for the wobbly. All right, so there's the fuel petcock. And if you note, there's a lower point here and a lower point over here where fuel gets caught in this. So this is not the lowest point. I need to take this off and put another one in. It may run into the valve cover. In that case, I'm going to have to loosen these bolts front and rear and lift it up. There's some frame up in there, and I'm hoping I can get this to lift enough that I can get the petcock in and out. I don't want to cut this rubber because it's a lower point. I don't want fuel in here. I don't want to burn my home down. I'm not doing that. So here's a side shot of it. I really loved riding this bike, but like if you've watched my previous episodes, I live in the mountains, and I had planned on building a shop, and by this time having a shop where it could be ridden in and out of. I'm going to see if I can get down there without falling on my butt here. There is it. There is an oil line. I don't even know if you can see. Yeah, you can. So that little stubby thing sticking out there is an oil line. It's an overflow. That's where it will splooge out all its oil on the floor if I don't do that start procedure that I told you about. So I did not build this bike. I would have chose a few other things. I ended up buying it because I was about ready to buy all the parts to build it, and then got a deal from a man that was getting divorced and had built it. Has 2,000 miles on it, a little bit more than that. We'll check the odometer when I get it to that point. So the seat has already been unbolted because I've been in here. There's the oil cap. We will be checking that because I have no idea if there's anything in that reserve tank, which is a problem. I have some oil here. It's belt driven. And like I said, it's sitting on flats. I did leave the cap up because it was stuck and I had a heck of a time, so I WD-40'd it and finally got it freed up. It does show some signs of corrosion. I looked into the fuel tank. I don't know if I can get you guys, no, it's a dark hole for you. It's a dark hole with me too, but so I'm gonna get you put back on the stand and we're gonna go at getting this thing started. So what I'm going to do is air up the tires so I can move this thing forward enough to get the exhaust pointing out my sliders here, and you can see it's about a foot or two from where it needs to be. So let's get you put back on the stand. Give you a front shot of it, and then go from there. Okay guys, there is one other thing I need to tell you. If you think that I'm moving slow, if you looked a little like dehydrated, I had a double integral hernia surgery 8 days ago. Yes, I'm insane. I've been cut here and here. I'm not supposed to lift anything more than 10 pounds. That's why we're not working on the C10. Speaking of which, like, comment, subscribe, and if you see that down on the other end, if you scroll down where the thumbs up is, all the way to the right, there might be a hype. Please hype me. I'm small, and I need you guys to grow. So, back to getting air in this thing so I can move it forward. Okay. The one thing with getting air in it is you need to plug the hose in, so I'll be right back to you. Sorry about that, we're back. Ow! Love leaky hoses. Not trying to be dead on accurate with air pressure. I'm just trying to get it inflated. These tires are shot. I can see the cracks in them. There's no way I'd be riding on these. I definitely do need to get new tires put on it. And a front shock seal. It's leaking on one of the shock seals. I had it moved and they pushed the shock all the way down to the bottom, which blew it out. Come on, you can do it. There it goes. All right, we're mobile there. All right. I have previously, like a long time ago, I pulled the screw clamp off of this to see if it had gas anymore going past the shut-off valve. So I don't have to deal with that. And I did bring some line. I should have been doing this first because it takes a while to drain all the garbage. And I'm not going to be able to get all the garbage out of here, but I should be able to get the majority out of there. Some lube might be required. I don't want to fight with this thing, so I'm going to cut it down so it has all the drop. All the snippers do it. Of course. Fun little, okay. It's got one of those springs in there that are not going to come out easily. All right, let's see if we get anything. Oh man, it's froze up. First thing it does, start leaking. Oh, there it's open and leaking. We're leaking fuel. I'm going to grab a rag. Oh, I've got some right here. I tried to be prepared. It's not dripping much, but it is. And nothing is coming out. That is not good. Let's go all the way over and see if that does. That's really not good. Okay, that's interesting. I don't even know how that could be. I just blew air into nothingness. Okay, I'm remembering now. So when it was leaking, I drained everything out of it. So obviously it wouldn't continue to leak on my floor. That's why it has no fuel, it just stinks. And it does have fuel back here, like I showed you that line. There's fuel up here and back there, but not where the pitcock is. On, off, whatever you want to call the thing. That's one less toxic thing I have to deal with. There was a little bit of gas. There is. I got a little bit there. Oh, sure. Now, okay, maybe it was slightly plugged because there's gas coming out. As you just seen, it hit my floor. Now I've got gas on my floor. This is not a good thing. It is running in there. So I'm going to give you a break. I'm going to pause you for a minute. I'm going to get this drained and I will be right back to you after I clean up the fire hazard. Okay. Here we go, getting down here where it hurts. It's drained. I'm going to go ahead and remove the line and see if we can get this pitcock out of here without making man, this thing's dirty, a giant mess. More fuel. I don't want any fuel. I have ventilated the house. I soaked up all the garbage that we had, well, the fuel you've seen hit the floor. Okay. We don't want any more fuel on the floor. I don't know if that's even possible to stop. I'm sure I'm going to prevent as much as I can. Hopefully, we don't have to argue with this thing too much. Anybody with any brain at all, which at the moment I'm not sure I have. Okay, the Teflon tape that I'm using is fuel rated. It is not the hardware store Teflon tape. Don't do that. And without beginning, where's a start? There you are, come off there, okay. The other one didn't go very far into the tank, so I'm going to put it at the beginning of the threads, not wrapping over. I don't want this stuff just in the fuel system, but in the threads. As you can see, there's a little filter and there's two tubes up in there. One tube, excuse me, up in there. I just want that ready so that I can stuff it up in there if I can get it out and don't have to release or unbolt the tank to raise it to get it to make a bigger mess on my floor. Hopefully this will come out past my valve cover. Ooh, I see fuel already. Oh, I see a lot of fuel already. Like, that's a lot. We're going to need another bigger rag. That doesn't make me happy at all. Let me get another rag. Be right back. Okay, I'm back again. I've got a really messed up old towel I'm going to use. It's dripping. And I know a lot of you are thinking, and I think you probably heard me say, there's a crossover tube right here. To get it to take the tank off, I'd have to cut the crossover tube, which is a lower point in the gas tank than this valve, which means I'd even have more fuel on the ground. If this was my shop, I wouldn't really worry about it. I just cut the darn thing, catch a dip, put a catch pan under it, and we'd be good. In my house, catch pan, no catch pan, still not good. So what I'm going to do is pull this out real quick, stuff this one in really quick, hope all goes smoothly, and then we'll get rid of all this stuff out of my house, ventilate, and seal the fuel system. This is going to be ugly. See, very ugly. Oh, God, are you kidding me? Okay. No, there's no filter on that. There's a reason for that. It doesn't fit in there. Yeah, we're getting fuel, and I should have a catch pan under here because I did not expect this much fuel. We do have a fire extinguisher. We don't want to get to that point. Yeah, this does not make me even a little bit comfortable. That is a lot of gas. There is no open spark, other than my fireplace that's burning. We are very ventilated right now. We've got these sliders open on two sides of the house. I've got my kitchen window and my back door all open. And I will move those before we ever even think about starting this thing and ventilate this place. And yes, I just saw that drip. Come on, baby, you gotta go a little further. Like I said on my Will It Run or in other videos, I hate screwdrivers, nut drivers, or little ratchets. Yeah, but my shaky hands, it's not so good. I can get my heart to slow down now. Last thing in the world I want to do is burn my home down. I only have one. I wouldn't want to burn it down if I had 10. And that's off. We're going to leave that off. All right. That was enough of adrenaline rush for today. All right, I'm going to reposition you guys. I'll be right back to you. This is exceeding my weight limit by a bunch. That hurts. Let's hope this doesn't leak. You gotta be kidding me. First thing it does is leak. Had enough with the fuel leakage sink anyway. What is going on with my seal? It's all there. Safety cans. I hate them. No, I gotta do something else. Yeah, I do come prepared. Or I try to be, for you guys' sake. I don't drive you insane trying to do simple things that should be simple things and them not be dangerous. More ventilation might be required. Hate these cans. Yeah, that hurts. I am praying right about now that that is not leaking anywhere. Don't pray, well pray, but well, look. We are not leaking. Okay. The octane, whoa. What we are doing is splooging oil out, airing the tires up, made it go upright, which means, yeah, what I was saying, it's all migrated to the wrong place. It feels like we put about 3 gallons in it, which should be way more than it needs to. Get above the fuel shut off, maybe. This thing is terrible on gas mileage. I ran out once because of that curve in the bottom of the tank I told you about, and the fact that I assumed that motorcycles got decent gas mileage. That's not true with this one. It's not even close to true with this one. I'm thinking, and this is a wild guess, about 10 miles to the gallon. But it is also, again, not even close to being stock. So, where did I do with the cap? We're going to plug up one source of stinky. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to get rid of all the fuel out of the house except for what's in it. And make sure there's nothing else on the floor and ventilate this place for a few minutes, and I'll be back. Oh, you guys, I wanted you to see this so you didn't think I was just absolutely insane. Maybe anyway, but that's the migrating oil from the reservoir to down in the crankcase, meaning that crankcase is literally full all the way almost to the very top, or at least where that overflow is. It goes down there. That's what we have to move back up into the reservoir. And I'm actually going to check the reservoir here in a second. Let's get that battery out of it. We have been ventilated again. It's been a while. I gave it about 30 minutes before I decided I was going to mess with electrical at all. This thing has a remote start on it, so it has extra wires in the way. Yeah. It does have a second set of pegs and a seat. This is not a hardtail. There's a shock underneath of it. But whoever's sitting on here, it's a hard. That has not got any shock. It is the shock. Rear end goes up and down, frame's smoother. My broken spine doesn't like bounce very much. It rides pretty smooth, actually. Surprisingly smooth. And my ex didn't mind the ride either, so it must not be too terrible. Her spine liked it better than mine. I believe that comes with its own bolts. I'm telling you, I had on the original, when I bought this bike, it had an Odyssey battery in it. And it did me really well. This has not done me very well. This is garbage. I bought it, I put it in here, I ran it, and about a month later it was dead. I put a trickle charger on it, wouldn't take a charge. And that's happened a couple of times. This is a substantially smaller battery in diameter, size. Just take the whole thing. Well, the battery box is adjustable. I mean, you just see me move the foam around, which just fell over. It is literally biodegrading. So I'm Northern California. We get lots of rain here. We get snow. We get 110-degree days, not very often. It usually doesn't get much past 95 or 100 in Mendocino County. We have low humidity, which is pretty good. Obviously, it's been stored in a house. Hopefully, God, that hurts. So my bending joint obviously is not really happy with bending. Those surgeries here, and that's where I bend. Not a good combination. I assure you this is going to be a smaller size just to make me have to go chase another wrench. Open. I actually brought my office chair here so I could sit and not kill my spine, which clearly I did not do, and I couldn't fit it in where I'm at anyway. I hear puppies in the background complaining. Yep, that's complaining. I miss riding this. I'm in the California Redwood, so Avenue of the Giants, maybe 30 minutes from here, and I have not yet been able to take this bike and go ride in it. I brought it down from where I was living in Redding, and I have not been able to ride it since. It's been sitting here. I will eventually build a garage with you guys, and it will live in there, and then we'll build a shop eventually. and it can go for rides again. That'll make me very happy. It's like instant stress relief. Hopefully it doesn't have anything like seized from sitting in here. I seriously doubt that. I ordered this battery about 2 months ago, a month and a half, 2 months ago, and it was fully charged when I checked it. So hopefully it also is not going to be a problem. Oh, God. That is nowhere near close and tight enough. What are you crying about, puppies? There's some complaining going on out there. Oh, let's suck it up. This actually looks taller. I'm hoping this doesn't run into my seat. And today its job is just to start the bike and we can deal with anything after that. It's a cheapo Chinese battery. Wasn't about ready to do another high dollar Odyssey battery that worked one time maybe. That appears to be what we need. Do we have power? We do have power. Okay, it has power. Does oh, okay, I gotta slide this thing up. As you can see, I put another piece of cardboard. It needs to move up 2 feet. Let's see if we can get it there without killing my surgery. Ow. Okay. One, does this sit on top of the battery? Oh no. Before we do any of that, let's see if there's any oil in the reservoir at all. See if it all migrated down there. That'd be a lot of oil, but it's been sitting a lot of years leaking on my cardboards that I've thrown out a bunch of times. Or skewer, dipstick. There is nearly no oil in the reservoir. We need to put some oil in that reservoir. It needs to be able to be circulating. Yeah, that would. No, we're not doing that. There's no way it's going to put too much. I'm going to put too much in it. I've got oil here. Should probably bump it before I do that. I really don't want it sucking on something that ain't there. And like I said, there's no way it's overflowing that reservoir, even if after it pumps up everything. So we'll put half a quart in it just so it has something to in there. Like this dipstick, see what we got in there, if anything. The oil was changed not too long before this thing got parked. So we've got about 1 inch of oil in there. You won't be able to see that on camera, but it's right there. That makes me feel a little safer about what I'm about ready to do. I feel completely unenergetic, and I'm sure that's because my body's healing. It's using all the energy to heal major wounds. It was an open double hernia surgery, not endoscopic, because of my surgery from years ago, lots of scar tissue. Yeah, it is sitting on top of that battery. I will have to get another battery. We'll put that one in the quad later, but it will start the bike. And it is in neutral. And that gets that where it needs. There's another side effect of that surgery, one I can't talk about this family show. Swelling of other parts is not good. All right. Running over the mental list of what needs to be done before I start poking buttons. Let me reposition you. Okay, now let's get to the sketchy part. Let's turn the fuel on. Theoretically, we have fuel. Ow. Engine run, engine off, engine run, engine off. It's been a while. Clutch in. Oh yeah, key on would help, huh? I would like to be there and not turn the headlights on and burn up or use more battery. I don't remember if it does that or not. It does not. Okay, engage. We're going to need some bump start. It is not liking that. Whoa. Why are we in gear all of a sudden? Clutch not engaged? Okay, we're going to take a break. I'm going to get my battery, charger, get a couple hundred extra amps. I will be back. All right, guys, as you can see, I got a charger behind it there. And when I got it in there and hooked it up, and then I wandered around and I told you guys about the transfer of oil out of the top tank. So you don't think I'm exaggerating. This is why I wanted to do the immediate start-stop. I get a Valdez spill in my living room on hardwood floors, real hardwood floors. That does not make me happy. So I'm going to mop that up, put another catch piece of cardboard under it. Actually, I'm going to leave whatever I mop it up with under it. And then I'm going to let this charge grab something to eat, and I'll be right back to you, and we'll get this thing started, I pray. All right, we're back, as you can see. I've got the charger on it. I just showed you Valdez oil spill. I'm going to put this thing on 200 amp high boost. I'm going to check to make sure it's in neutral. That was clutch hanging when it was trying to move forward, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I might squeeze the brakes to make sure I can stop this thing if it decides to take off. The battery was very dead, or not very dead, but put that on 200 high boost. Battery's not warm. I hate standing over around a battery that's like that, but I really don't have a choice in this particular situation. Okay. We do not need the horn. We need it on run. We got to do the start stop. Brake seems to be working. A little nervous. But yeah, fuel on would be much needed. That's a better crank. Ooh, it wants to go. We got to do that a few times. Okay, back on. And again, back on. And again. Come on, baby. And again. No. And again. And again. Let's take a quick look and see how much we've migrated to the top. And are we pumping? Yeah, we are definitely pumping oil onto the ground. Again. Do I have my dipstick? Yes, I do. Looks about the thing same as when I did it before. Well, you know, when I put oil in it. That's not good. I want it pumping on the ground. Hell, let's do that a few more times, and I'll look down there this time to see if it's pumping on the ground. I can, well, actually, I can see it's pumping on the dang ground. We've got Valdez oil spill over here. And again, that is a. Oh yeah, turn the key on. And again. And again. And again. And again. I need to get a visual on what's going on down yonder, because I know from before when this did this, I could actually tilt the bike and see it had quit, and I think I've done that enough. But we're talking about, yeah, I know what we're talking about. This hurts, and I'm an idiot. Yeah, I know. So 8 days out of surgery, and I'm out here doing a well run on my motorcycle. Yeah, that's idiot. Man, that is a big mess. And no, it is just literally pouring out onto the ground right now. So we got to do that a bunch more times, it appears. And hopefully it decides to migrate some of that stuff up top, because that is a mess and it ain't getting better. That's all probably because it's all down there. Keys on. see you again. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm torturing myself for you. Whoa. Almost bit it too. Oh. Okay. Let's do a slip around here. God dang it. It is literally just a stream of oil coming out of the bottom of this dang thing. That's supposed to stop doing this. But that being said, many, many years of it sitting here is not good. It's all the oils down there. I heard it snorkel like it was sucking. There again. And again. I don't even want to stop until I get some. It's in gear. I think we've snorkeled it up, maybe. Sucked it up, pushed it up, something up. I hope. No, it's still not as big a stream, but it's definitely still coming out of there. We're getting closer, I think. Quit being a butthead. I'm going to be wiping oil off everything for a month. It's nasty. Okay, back to start and stop. I need to be able to see that thing while it's running so I can see if it's stopped, because at some point it'll just start running and rotating normal oil instead of just, it's down to a vague drool. It doesn't mean stopped, it just means less. Maybe I can get it out of gear. Maybe I can get rid of the charger. Let's do that, maybe. I don't think we need that at the moment, maybe not. I could be mistaken. It definitely is sitting on the battery. That will not be a long-term solution, that battery. Oh, God. Okay. neutral. That is, all right, let's try this again with a little bit run. On, start. Check the oil. Not that I'm paranoid or anything, but oh yeah, I'm paranoid. See how much oil we pumped out and what we pumped up. Yeah, we've pumped a lot up. There is oil in there, it's safe. Definitely could use more. All in all, I probably pumped, over the time it's sitting here dripping on the floor, about a quart of oil, I would imagine. Kind of looks that way anyway. Are we splooging the floor again at rapid pace? A little bit. We'll do a couple more start stops and then we'll run it a little more. Heat cycle it a little. Carburetor's not very happy. I can feel it. It's different. Can somebody tell me what I did with the oil plug? Oh, yeah, it's right there on top of the box. Sorry about that. I need a lot of icing, setting, and no more bending. Come on, don't play with me. Are you serious? And less of this. Come on, thank you. You did not need to do that, nope. Fine threaded oil tank lid. Okay. I've got another oil Valdez to clean up. What I'd like to do is take you down from there in a minute and do a little walk around. On key on. Keep belt pants out of the sweats. Out of the belt drive. Okay, come on. makes me happy. That's also success. This is one of those things where it's a will it run? Yeah. This is my baby. To have that engine be stuck or not do what I was able to make it do would have been devastating, because there's a reason it lives in my living room. You know I don't have a shop. I should have built one years ago. Yes, I should have. But that's why it's here. I love it. I have a few of these, not bikes, babies. The Beast, the Chevelle, a couple other trucks that you've seen, and of course the Will It Run on the 78. Go look at that. Check out my other videos. I'm new. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I can't thank you guys enough. I've got a lot of views and a lot of comments and a lot of love for just having a handful of videos out. I appreciate your feedback. And if you can scroll over all the way over from the thumbs up, you see that hype, give it a big hype, and please follow my videos, comment. And until the next time, the next time I have found steering box and the other parts to make the 77 short bed, Big 10, C10 drive. And that will be our next attempt, is to get that thing off the mountain without killing myself. As you can see, I'm a little paranoid about things going wrong. I've seen them happen with devastating results. So I try to be safe, do it the right way, and with the C10, hand it off as another good working project. Until the next time, I will see you, and thank you for joining me in my home.